All right, straight to the point. We are installing a MAXXAIR Deluxe onto the roof of my van. I'm going to be using this kit from Cirque Supply with all of these different pieces of equipment to get the fan installed. First step is to take the template and put it on the roof. As you can see, I should have used tape. I never thought of that until I was editing the video and watching this back. Instead, I'm going to struggle trying to hold this up and mark a hole all at the same time. Eventually, I'll figure it out, I promise. So the tricky thing with installing this fan is that you want to prep it from the inside to make sure that the fan is in the correct spot and it's centered between these two beams. But it's easier to cut from the outside. So first you have to mark the template and then punch a hole through it, and then you can go onto the roof and actually do the rest of the cutting. Here you can see me start to drill the holes to mark the outline of the template that I just traced onto the outside of the van. Here I'm learning two things. The first being, don't start with the largest bit in the kit. It takes forever to try to get a hole started, and then it warps the metal as you're trying to go through it. Secondly, all of these metal shavings are sharp and hot. And I finally have the bright idea to switch to a smaller drill bit so that things go better. Finally, we make it onto the roof of the van, and first things first, I got to get this all cleaned up because it makes it really hard for tape and future caulk to stick to the roof of this van when it's that dirty. So just using some isopropyl alcohol and a lint-free rag to get it all cleaned up and ready. Now I'm transferring the template to the top of the roof using those holes that I drilled from the inside of the van. Next, I'm going to lay some tape down so that when the saw is running across the roof of the van, it doesn't scratch it up. And as you can just see, I learned that sharp pieces of metal are, in fact, sharp. My finger has the scars to prove it. And now I'm using an air saw for the first time to cut the hole in the van. This is essentially a saw attached to a compressor. The biggest downside is it shakes so much that the camera kept moving, so I had to just jump ahead. Here's the result of that cut. And now I'm drilling holes through the ring into the van to hold it down. Next up is laying butyl tape onto the top template to help create a watertight seal. This comes in a pretty long tape and you don't need the whole thing, but you do want to make sure you get at least 2 layers in. I started almost on the vertical face and started going around and just pressing it down. And then as I got to the start of it again, as I worked my way around, I just moved it out to another ring and just kept peeling the tape off as needed so that it would all stick together.
I had to use wrenches to get that one on.
Now that that's done, I cleaned off the roof and put the template back, the shroud back on, and just used screws to cinch it down. On the inside of the van is the wood. You can slightly see it there, so that's what it's gripping to and giving it better support than just the metal roof. And I'm doing this as you would a car tire so that the pressure is being added evenly on opposite sides so that everything's sealed down appropriately tightly. Do a quick test fit of the van to make sure the hole didn't warp or anything. Good to go. Now we're going to use isopropyl alcohol again and just clean up this lip because next is going to be the waterproof caulk sealant. It's called lap sealant and it is self-leveling, so that's pretty handy. I went around and just wiped everything down and then made sure that the bolts were as clean as I could. And then I put this painter's tape down thinking that it'd really spread and I wanted a clean line. Little did I know, it doesn't spread that far. So this was all pointless. But it looks like I know what I'm doing, and that's the key part.
Yeah.
Now, as I'm starting to seal the lap sealant on there, I am just following what Surg Supply did in their video and doing a little dot on the head of each bolt. Then I'm overdoing it at the front of the van and the sides kind of up there because that's where most of the moisture will come as I'm driving. The rest of it will kind of come from the sky, so it won't be as intense. Here I'm trying to add more tape, thinking that that would solve the problem. You'll see, it doesn't. Yep, so just keep spreading this out as evenly as possible. I would say it smells somewhat like Elmer's glue, just so that you feel like you were there. Now, time to put the fan back on. And just like that, screw in these 4 bolt screws on the side, and it's installed. Just like that, another project done. And I think it's safe to say the van is officially mine because there's no going back anymore. Anyway, short video, different format. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you around the bend.